When we connect two separate terminals to the different terminals of a car battery, which is 12 volts, sometimes we get sparks flying, sometimes we get a filament glowing, and sometimes you don't see anything at all. So what's the difference in these three situations? What is actually happening? Well, the voltage causes current to flow from one terminal to the other, from the high voltage terminal, which is the red, to the low voltage terminal, which is the black. And how much current flows has to do with how much resistance it meets when it's connected. So when we connect the two parts, the two terminals directly, you get huge sparks because the resistance is practically zero, and the current flows through it very, very easily and causes sparks. What is the resistance of the filament? Well, we can measure that directly using an ohm meter. If I take the two parts of the ohm meter and connect it across the filament here, I see about 10 ohms, 6 to 10 ohms. We don't get a very accurate number with this, but that's about the resistance that we see. And when I grab it, the two terminals between my two hands, you have, let's see what my resistance is. So when I grab it from here to here, the resistance through my body from my left hand to my right hand is about 15 kilo ohms, compared to what we saw before was about 10 ohms. So 1,000 times greater my resistance than the filament. So the amount of current flowing through my body is it's 1,000 times less than the current flowing through the filament. Is my resistance a constant number? Well, it turns out that most of the resistance of my body is through the skin, and that's true, of course, for everybody. The skin, which is dry, creates a lot of resistance, and once the current penetrates into the skin and into the interior of your body, then it actually flows very much faster because your body has a lot of ions in it, which can carry charge, can make the current flow. So if we can get through the skin more easily, then we can reduce the resistance of the body. For example, if I make the skin wet with a little bit of alcohol and I rub it and I measure my resistance again, now we see that I'm down to less than about 4 kilo ohms, which is about a quarter, 25% of what we saw before, okay? And if you've ever seen the defibrillators, if someone goes into cardiac arrest, they put gel pads on the two pads in order to reduce the resistance and increase the current, because in that case you want a lot of current flowing through the heart to restart the heart.